Mob Psycho is hands down the best show I've ever watched, and maybe, probably, one of the best shows I think I will ever watch. Now, if you guys haven't watched Mob Psycho yet, hopefully by the end of the video I'll convince you to watch it. I won't spoil anything. And if you have, please stick around as I appreciate Mob Psycho. So Mob Psycho is a Japanese anime. It's based on the manga, I think. It was being released at the same time as the manga. And it's quite short, honestly, for an anime. It's just three seasons, 12 episodes, each episode 20 minutes each. So it's quite short. However, it is like perfectly short for a reason. Like, the ending is one of the best endings I have ever seen to any show. Granted, I haven't watched that many shows, like, but this show like truly made me think about a lot of aspects of my life, and also made me feel a lot of very, very deep emotions. Like, it's a great show. Now, the primary reason why I love this show so much is how pure it feels, right? It just feels so happy. Like, all the characters are so likable in the show. Like, even the villains. Like, nobody in the show is, like, you don't hate anyone in the show, I think, at any point. Like, I don't think I ever really hated anyone in the show. And it does it really well. Like, it's such a positive show. And the other part is, I think it's very inspiring. Like, as much as fictional as it is, the main character, it's not like a traditional, I guess, where a lot of shows, they make the main character go through some tragedy, and through like working super hard and redeeming themselves, they become like, oh, they like overcome their like weaknesses, and like they like, you know, even though both their parents died. It's nothing like that. The main character, Mob, is just a regular middle schooler, kinda, like, and it's portrayed very much that way. Like, sure, he has psychic powers, which you find out in the first episode. It's not a spoiler, but he's very much a regular, albeit a bit like troubled, but still very normal middle schooler. And so that in itself, the main characters and the characters being so normal and so relatable, is part of what makes the show so great, I think. I also think it's just like realistic in the in the correct spots. Like, obviously the premise of the show is very fantastical. It's about like battling a bunch of stuff, but the issues it deals with, the scenarios it deals with, are very, very real, and it deals with them in a very real way. Like, as goofy as like the fights are sometimes, as goofy as the logic is sometimes in like the fighting, and like the plot points, plot armor, whatever, like, I don't think when you watch a show it doesn't really matter, because I think like it really manages to make you connect to the characters, and that's what a good show should do, right? Like, by the end of the show, or a book, you know it's a good book or a show if you feel like you're gonna miss the characters. And I definitely felt like I was gonna miss the characters in this show. Like, I think if anything, I really want to make a video essay about this show, but like, I don't know. Like, I'll just try and keep this as a very brief overview of the show. But like, it's, the one thing I can't take away from it is like, main character is so pure, so unjudgmental, so accepting, so kind, right? And like, it's not like, oh, he's so kind, well, everything goes his way. Sure, it's a bit idealistic, right? A lot of things do go his way because of his kindness, because of it, but it's portrayed in a very, very realistic, believable, and like resonant way. The characters are all so well developed as well. Like, they each have very, very unique backstories. Um, the side character, like supporting character, not main character, basically another main character, Reagan. He's so likable, but at the same time, he's also so like not extremely, but so like a bit flawed. Like I think what I like about it is it's so. I think what I like about a lot of things, especially like um, movies and shows and books, is simplicity, realism, and purity ish, and like realisticness. Like this show, the characters are not. I wouldn't call them super complex or super. Oh, okay. That I take that back. I wouldn't call them super like flashy. I think that's the right word. They're not on their own. They're honestly not that unique. Like they feel like normal people, and that's good. I think they're not excessively flawed in one way. They're not like super good in one way. It just all feels so like relatable, I guess. And like no one's portrayed as being purely evil, and no one's portrayed as being purely good. And that's part of why I like it. There's so many good things I love about this show. But like the best part about it is just after watching it, you just feel good. It's just so wholesome. Like at the end of the day, it's such a great show. Like watching in the last couple episodes, like made me tear up a lot of times, because like it builds such a deep bond with the characters. The show manages to, at least for me, it did. And yeah, so if you haven't watched the show, I highly, highly recommend you do watch it. It's very short. At first, I was very skeptical about even getting into anime, but this show has definitely solidified like my appreciation for the genre. I'd watched a lot of anime movies before, but this show, like, you know, it really inspires you to. Because Mob, the main character, he lives with such, like, despite, like, he doesn't go through astronomical struggles, I would say, right? But he goes through a lot. And a lot of it is very, like, everyday struggle, you know? Like, finding friends, you know? Like growing up, you know? It's and yet he manages to get through it with such positivity and such happiness and such like just appreciation. That's the word. He appreciates everything around him, even though he, like, for every single bit of it, he tries to appreciate the fullest. And so yeah, if you really want a feel good show, this is definitely a show for it. Like, I don't think there was a single moment I felt angry. It's just so funny, so lighthearted, but at the same time, it like just like very, very realistic, very applicable. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I guess those are my primary like just like blur onto the page thoughts about this show. Maybe if I rewatch it, I'll like dive deeper into it, but I honestly like feel much happier after this watching the show. It's inspired me. So yeah, hopefully you guys can watch the show. It inspires you too. It's called Mob Psycho 100, not the live action Netflix version, the anime. I also think you should definitely watch in sub. Don't watch in dub. Like the inflections, I don't speak Japanese obviously, but the inflections in the voice actors and the voice actor are so much better in the Japanese version than any dub could ever do justice to. So yeah, that's all I really have for today. But like, hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I have. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, go watch. It's great. Doesn't take long. Mob Psycho. It will change your life. I don't know about that yet. I just feel very happy after finishing. Alright. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.